Seeing as we have quorum, we will, I, Chair Kelly, call this meeting to order at 4:30 on Wednesday, January 7th. For agenda item number 2, we have roll call.
Okay, when I call your name, please say present, starting with Chair Kelly.
Present.
Vice Chair Hubble.
Present.
Commissioner Charles.
Present.
Commissioner Christensen is absent. Commissioner Kinzelberg.
Present.
Commissioner Gumagai.
Present.
Commissioner Merrick is absent. Commissioner Yarbrough also absent. And Commissioner Yui.
Present.
Okay, let the record show we have 6 commissioners present.
We move on to agenda item number 3, the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Vice Chair Hubble. We move on to agenda item number 4, special presentations and proclamation. Oh, wait. Before we move on, I just wanted to note that we have a new staff supporting the Youth Commission, and I will let her introduce herself.
All right, thank you. Happy 2026. I hope this year is off to a really good start for all of you. We are definitely gearing up for a busy and exciting year ahead with plenty of new recreation opportunities and a few updates to staff roles. My name is Christy Goodsell, and I'm pleased to announce that I am the new interim recreation services manager with some big shoes to fill. You may or may not know, but Margaret Hamer is now the recreation and community services director for the city of Vista. So a huge congratulations to her on this amazing accomplishment. A little bit about my background. I've worked for the city of Encinitas for 24 years as the manager of the Encinitas Community and Senior Center. My duties included the center operations, staff supervision, budget preparation and oversight, as well as being a liaison to the Senior Citizen Commission. I'm a graduate of UCSD and a certified California Parks and Recreation professional. I'm definitely looking forward to supporting Elle in her role as liaison to the Youth Commission and supporting all of you with your work plan goals. And I will be directly responsible for the Recreation Division and look forward to what 2026 has in store for us. Thank you.
Chair Kelly, thank you, Interim Manager Goodsell. We'll move on to agenda item number 4, special presentations and proclamations. 4A, we have Veronica Lopez.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Veronica Lopez, and my role at the Community Resource Center is I am a domestic violence prevention education specialist. And so today we're going to address youth advocates for healthy relationships in our communities and schools. So a little bit of an icebreaker. If everyone can write down one thing you would like to see at your school or in your community involving healthy relationships or the prevention of teen dating violence. And we can hold our shares to the end because I am going to have a call to action, but go ahead and just write it down and have it with you. So what does CRC currently offer? So currently the workshops that we offer are the Teen Dating Violence Prevention Workshop, where we talk about all of the red flags and behaviors that we normally see in an unhealthy relationship. We also offer a Healthy Relationships Workshop, where we go to your school, classroom, and talk about what a healthy relationship looks like. We've also been present in Wellness Week at schools and have done presentations there for healthy relationships and healthy boundaries. We find that students are not only wanting the tools to know how to prevent domestic abuse or being in an unhealthy relationship, but they also want the tools for a healthy relationship. So it starts with all of the ingredients, that make a healthy relationship, like trust, boundaries, communication, respect, and consent. We also do what we call a teen wellness conference 3 times a year, and this is held throughout the county. I would love to also be in contact, as I have Chet's contact. I'll actually forward you, Chet, the flyer. And this is basically open to all the teens that can come, and we have different organizations there, and we talk about healthy boundaries, and we talk about healthy relationships and prevention, and we have food, and so we hope to see more teens there. Last year, we had almost 100 teens at the San Marcos One Safe Place. So we usually find a place to host, and like I said, we have it 3 times a year, and we hope to be an ongoing thing. What can you do as a youth advocate for your school and community? So I do have a few suggestions for you. So one of the suggestions is talk to your clubs at school about doing mini presentations on the topics like healthy boundaries and healthy relationships. I've heard that there's clubs that go around the school and do like little mini presentations in the mornings that are about 5 minutes long. So that's also a good opportunity to just have something written, whether it's a healthy boundary or whether it's a tip on healthy relationships or what. And instead of a lot of students, for example, instead of saying like teen dating violence, we find that maybe talking about what is a healthy behavior and what is an unhealthy behavior seems to work best among teens, right? Having students create their own presentations, especially on boundaries, because we all have an idea of different boundaries and what that looks like. So really having even have them write even their own boundaries is actually a really good exercise to do. And sharing, and for example, like I said, you can also do this during Wellness Week, right? It can be a part of your guys' Wellness Week. So the other thing is creating an art event, and these are all things that we have already hosted before. And so they've been effective, and I'm here to share them with you. So we've created before an art event where students get to submit artwork or also do a poetry reading on a relationship that they've been in before. And this can also remain anonymous. It's really about the freedom of expression and being able to express it either through artwork or express it through poetry. And so we found that was really fun for teens. The other thing is every morning, right, sharing a healthy tip on healthy relationships, creating a small handout, perhaps, with 3 tips on healthy boundaries, teen wellness, and love versus control. And the other thing that we're finding is like nobody really wants to be told what to do, right? So it's more about really building the awareness so that people can come into their own self-realization. And then another idea is creating scenarios where you role play. Now, this seems to be very effective. I actually last year took an emotional intelligence course, one of the best emotional intelligence courses in Vegas. And really, it's one of the best probably throughout the country. And what they did is they had us role play with each other. And so we'd sit down and we'd role play certain scenarios. And that was really effective, especially, for example, saying no, right, to something that may be difficult. And so having these conversations really helps because when the situation comes up, you've already role played and you've already practiced it. So it's not so awkward. And then also creating maybe, for example, what's a good choice, what's a bad choice, right? Like maybe I shouldn't be drinking, 5 beers. What would be a better choice? Do you have somebody that's going to be? I mean, teens go to parties, right? So we kind of have to put it out there. But it's just like and the reason I bring up the alcohol part is because this is where boys and girls get in a lot of trouble, right? You are impaired. And this is when you make dumb choices. So having those conversations and writing down those scenarios, I think is really good. So my last thing is a call to action. So this is where we can share. We can take a few minutes to share. So choose an event or what you wrote down. We can each share what you wrote down, and either talk to a friend who's facing abuse or an unhealthy behavior or an unhealthy pattern. So you can choose one of these, or you can choose what you wrote down. Who would like to share?
Chair Kelly, I just want to confirm with Supervisor Kim Marina that we're able to respond to this. Okay. My original answer was like proper modeling of healthy relationships and like tools for healthy relationships. But you kind of already brought those up.
So would it help you to have done for you presentations
Yes, that would have
and
been
worksheets?
that would have been really great. My previous school, I don't think we really did any of that. So no.
Okay, so I do have done for you presentations and worksheets that you can use at your school, and I will provide those for Chet. Okay.
Vice Chair Hubble here. I wrote down more free mental health support because I think that that's really important, especially for schools to be offering to their students.
Have you looked into any organizations that focus on mental health for teens?
No, but I would love to hear your recommendations.
Okay, there are some recommendations. I know I'd probably off the top of my head, like I don't have it out right now, but I can definitely write it down and send it to Chet. As far as I know, there's plenty of organizations out there that help students with mental health, and I can ask them to provide those free services to you guys. And provide, it's really about I'll tell you what the difficult part is. The difficult part about the organizations is actually getting into your school. Because what happens is a lot of organizations call the school and they get a lot of pushback. Some schools are open and say, yes, go ahead, come join us. And so, for example, CRC, we've never had a problem getting into the schools. But there's other organizations that they say they've gotten a lot of pushback. So when you're bringing it up and you're saying like, hey, we'd like to have this, then that helps us. What school do you go to?
I go to Santa Fe Christian in
Santa Fe
Solana
Christian.
Beach.
Okay, perfect.
Something I said I would like to see is like mandatory check-ins with counselors or any mental health supporters, because I feel like at my school, a lot of my friends don't even know their counselors, and teens, if they don't need what the counselors are there for, usually we want a letter of recommendation at least, and it's just good to establish a relationship with your counselor. But because there are no like mandatory check-ins or like meetings with your counselor, for someone who like could use the support their counselor like provides, just having that initial meeting, not saying like reaching out themselves, but having the school like build the initial connection in that relationship, I feel like would be helpful for people. And I think it would open up students more to their counselors and what they're there for.
I think that's an excellent idea. And interestingly enough, there's been a lot of, what's happening is that some of the counselors do have like, I was gonna say some of them do have curriculums that they can address that, but I like that idea. I think you should definitely bring it up to your school. It's not something that I would be able to advocate for, right, at that community resource center, but that would be something that you could advocate for your school and saying, hey, I think we should have this, which I think is definitely very appropriate. The other thing is that if, for example, they didn't, let's just say they say, well, we can't require students to do that, right? Maybe creating a group of teens, a group of teens that say, we do want counseling, kind of creating your own group that way, so that maybe that way teachers can see, or the counselors can see, oh, we do have groups of students that do like this, right? Or that do want this. Elizabeth?
Apologies, I was a little late and did not get to see the question.
Okay. It was just, the question was, what would you like to see in your school or community?
That's a good question. Could you come back to me at the end so I had time?
Yeah,
Thank you.
You can write it down.
Commissioner Kinzelberg, I think it would be great if we had more presentations to the whole school about healthy teen relationships. And then also, like, just in general, students checking in on each other and saying, telling each other when they notice something is wrong with somebody's relationship and like being honest without being kind of commanding, and just say like, hey, maybe like rethink this, stuff like that.
Okay. I like that. And then when do you think, for example, as a student, right, what would be the best time to have, like, let's just say a presentation?
Probably either at the beginning of the school year or during like what's it called? Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which
Okay.
is February, right? I
February.
think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So those would probably be the best times.
Okay, perfect. I ask because that is our role at CRC, is to reach out to as many schools as we can and do these workshops. And so sometimes some of the feedback that we get is like, okay, well, we have to do it on, they already have so much on their plate. When are we going to do this presentation? And so it's nice to hear, okay, well, maybe in the beginning, and we do focus on trying to do it for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. But I also think that there's probably more opportunities. For example, if it was after school, would you guys attend something like that? If it was like 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
I would probably attend, but I don't know.
If we provided
Too many.
pizzas?
Then you'd probably get more people, but I would, like, for us, we have an announcements like period, so that'd probably be the best.
Do you think that if we, for example, soften the topic instead of saying like teen dating violence, or maybe we just said like youth development conversation or youth development workshop, do you think that more people would be attracted to going to something like that? Like, do you think that there's a difference in saying come to a teen dating violence workshop or come to a youth development workshop?
I think like healthy relationship workshop would be good, because like I think that like domestic violence is very specific, and like healthy relationships maybe apply to more people.
Okay, thank you. Alana.
Hi, yeah, just building off that, I do think using the terminology of healthy relationships as compared to like dating or anything like that would definitely get you a wider audience of teenagers, because even stuff like this is helpful for friendships. Like even in friendships and other kinds of relationships, it's good to know how to have healthy boundaries and stuff like that. For things I would like to see on my campus, I would say having an open, supportive community is definitely very helpful for this sort of thing, where people don't feel like they have to behave or act a certain way, and they are just free to act like themselves. We do have a group at our school, my school, San Diego Academy, called PALS, which is this cool group, and they come around during homeroom and give presentations on stuff like this. But I would definitely love to see something like this, like artwork or a poetry reading at my school. I think that would be, a lot of students at my school, I think, would respond very positively to that.
Great. And what do you think about if a class was offered that was specifically for relationships, that focused on, let's just say, healthy boundaries, self-worth, communication, let's just say the power of words, emotional intelligence? What do you guys think if those classes were offered at your school as part of your guys' like education?
Commissioner Kinzelberg, yeah, you can go.
Commissioner Charles, are you suggesting this be an elective class or something like necessary within the district curriculum? Because in Edgenuity, which is like our health course that we do combined with PE, there's a little bit, not that much though, there's like a small unit on healthy relationships and like domestic violence, but that's not the focus of our health curriculum. So I think it could be emphasized more, and instead of making like an elective course, you could actually just have it more embedded in like our core classes, and then every student would be required to take a class where there's like more emphasis on that.
Thank you. I really think that it's a huge need in our districts, across all the way from kindergarten to high school, because I think that the most important thing you're going to learn in life is how to be in a relationship, whether it's with a friend, whether it's with a neighbor, whether it's at school, whether it's at work. It's important to have those life skills, right? And Mr. Miles.
Commissioner Yui, for me, I said at La Costa Canyon, I'd like to see more like caring and like respectful like culture. Yeah, I don't know. To like build that, I'd say maybe more like school like together events where the entire school comes together. Though I'm not sure
Okay.
what your thoughts are on that.
Yes. And Elizabeth?
So I would like to see kind of like a rise in, so kind of context for this. I remember like the transition from middle school to high school, if you didn't do extracurriculars that like kind of helped like navigate you into it, it was kind of a hard shift, like socially and everything and educationally. So maybe more programs that kind of like, maybe like tutoring programs that kind of help middle schoolers who are like in 8th grade specifically kind of make some friends with people who are in high school, so that when they come into high school they have more of a community and it doesn't feel as scary to transition.
Good. Well, thank you so much for all your guys' feedback. I would say another call to action would be, I would really love for you guys to email me exactly what you said. I think it helps because as Luis and I are building the DV prevention program and going out there with youth, to have your guys' ideas and input is actually really important to us, because we definitely will advocate for you guys as well. And I mean, we're not going to say, hey, Commissioner Charles said this, but we are going to say that, there's teens out there that are asking for this. And I think that you guys are a very wise group of young adults. So that's my email. If you guys can email me there, I would love to have that feedback from you. And is there anything else?
Chair Kelly, thank you so much, Ms. Lopez, for giving us the presentation. And we will move on to agenda item number 5, oral communications, possible direction to staff.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so we have one speaker slip, and it is Peggy Walker. You have 3 minutes to address the commission.
Good afternoon. Well, I come with an unexpected follow-up to that wonderful presentation. I'm Peggy Walker, and I'm with San Diego Alliance for Drug-Free Youth. We work to inform the community regarding the harms, physical and mental, of alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, and other drug use in the community among teens and young adults. So because January is Substance Use Disorder Treatment Month, I want to get that right, I wanted to share with you as youth leaders our deepening concerns over marijuana use. The same concerns were voiced last week by a top national expert on marijuana's adverse impacts on the brain, Dr. Bertha Madras of Harvard Medical School. Dr. Madras, a professor of neurochemistry, wrote in the Wall Street Journal that she's concerned young people don't have the information they need regarding the pitfalls of marijuana use. Widespread availability and normalization of high-potency marijuana, not like that years ago, she said, leave young people vulnerable and less likely to recognize the problems of use. Those problems are rising addiction, a steep increase in ER admissions, poisonings, premature cardiovascular disease among young people, traffic fatalities, and serious psychiatric harms. An estimated 30% of users develop dependence or addiction, with adolescents' addiction rates nearly twice that of adults. In my work, I understand that nothing is more devastating to families than teen substance use and addiction and the treatment process. So, I come to you as youth leaders to urge you to be aware of and to help inform your peers what experts like Dr. Madras emphasize, and that is that today's highly potent marijuana is not safe, has no known or authorized medical use, has higher addiction potential, and risk of serious adverse effects. Mr. Kinselberg suggested checking in on each other, and that's such a good suggestion, especially as it relates to drug use. So I ask you, let's work together with that in mind for a drug-free, a teen drug-free new year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you to all of our speakers. We move on to agenda item number 6, changes to the agenda.
There are no changes to the posted agenda.
Seeing as there are no changes to the posted agenda, we'll move on to agenda item number 7, the approval of the December 3rd, 2025 Youth Commission regular meeting minutes.
Vice Chair Hubble motions to approve.
Commissioner Charles seconds.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take a vote. Starting with Chair Kelly,
Aye.
Vice Chair Hubble. Aye. Commissioner Charles,
Aye.
Commissioner Christensen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinselberg,
Aye.
Commissioner Kumagai,
Aye.
and Commissioner Yui.
Aye.
All right, the minutes are approved with Commissioners Merrick and Yarbrough absent.
With that approval, we'll move on to agenda item number 8, action items. We'll move on to action item number 8A, the fiscal year 2025 to 2026 Youth Commission work plan.
Supervisor Camarena is going to jump in for a moment. I want to start with one of our videos that it was made as part of your guys' work plan. So let me get it up for us.
Hey, wait, is that you?
Oh, what's up, Mr. Lang?
Why so formal? Call me Lambert. It's not like we're in council chambers chairing a commission meeting.
Okay, Lambert.
So, what's up?
Well, I was just taking a look at the winter 2026 Encinitas activity guide.
I just got mine in the mail a few weeks ago.
Me too. My family dog-ears special pages and puts up city flyers on our fridge. We keep our activity guide in a special place that's easy to access and share. We also use the EncinitasCA.gov website and the incredible My Encinitas app.
I should know this, but where do you register for classes?
All winter and spring break programs are already out, and you can sign up and grab flyers at the big 3: City Hall, the Encinitas Community and Senior Center, and the Pacific View Arts Center.
So, Quaid, you gonna sign up for a class?
I don't know, there's so many great programs. I can't choose.
I know what you mean. There's stuff for every age group. Tiny Tots, Youth Teen, Adult Sports. Oh, look at page 26.
Pickleball! Hey, check it out, a recording class after school on Wednesdays.
I'm checking out the age 50+ section. There's a lot here.
Speaking of which, have you heard of the Senior Scholarship Program? Beginning on January 2nd, older adults who qualify can receive up to $300 per year and can receive up to 50% off on all classes and activities. Incredible, right?
Wow. That's a great opportunity for older adults who wouldn't sign up for classes otherwise.
I know, right? You can take a fitness class, you can learn photography, and you can learn how to play an African ambira.
A what?
An African ambira, known as a thumb piano. And I've heard there's some hidden talent out there.
It might be him. You think so?
To apply, scholarship forms are available online and at the big 3: City Hall, the Encinitas Community and Senior Center, and the Pacific View Arts Center. And if you need any help or support, city staff are there to help you in any way they can.
That's really great. You know, we're lucky to live in a community like Encinitas.
We sure are, Lambert.
I think it's time for the city council meeting to start. I don't know about you, but I'm going to sign up for the watercolor basics class. You coming?
Yes, sir. Let's do it. This is fun, Lambert. We should do this again sometime.
You know, I got to tell you, though, this is really not my thing.
Well, yeah, but there's 9 youth commissioners and 7 senior commissioners. Surely we could mix it up.
Okay. You talked me into it. Let's do it.
Lambert, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Oh, I was just going to thank you for your time on that. And we will move back to we'll move back over to our work plan.
Chair Kelly, Vice Chair Hubble had the brilliant idea of asking each group and each member involved for each projected outcome, asking questions to make sure that everyone's on track and contributing to these goals so we can get this done by the time we get to the end of the year. And so I'll let her jump into that.
Thanks, Chair Kelly. Vice Chair Hubble here. And first, I'd just like to talk a little bit about our overall goal as a youth commission since we're in a new year. I've made some kind of New Year's resolutions, if you will, for our youth commission. The words that I've had in my mind for this year are impact and visibility. So as we're heading into this new year, I'd like to see everyone try to take a more active and intentional role in both meetings and in our volunteering. And I hope that through this we can feel a sense of ownership and responsibility over our projects and start to be more active and engaging in our community. So now we're going to go more specific and get into our work plan goals. So you should have gotten an email with the work plan, and all of you know what's going on anyway. So that hopefully this won't be too long or painful. So we'll start with goal number 1, civic and community engagement. Number 1, invite city and community representatives to present. So that is Chair Kelly and Commissioner Kinzelberg and Commissioner Yarborough there. Commissioner Yarborough is not here, but I'll let Chair Kelly.
Chair Kelly, we've already brought multiple speakers in this year. Thank you so much for our speaker today. And we will be having a speaker come in next week who will also fit in with next month, who will fit in with the mental health outcome/goal. And Commissioner Yarborough is also will be working on a speaker for the meeting in 2 months. And so we are slowly getting a lot of work done on that goal. So.
Great, thank you. And if anyone has any ideas for guest speakers, you don't have to be on the ad hoc, just let someone on that know, because we'd really like to hear all your awesome ideas. So next we'll move to number 2, geocaching. Commissioner Kinzelberg and Kumagai, I was wondering if you could tell me how you're planning to incorporate Adventure Lab into upcoming city events.
Commissioner Kinzelberg, so I'm not sure if this exactly counts, so maybe somebody who works here can help me, but I was talking to the Encinitas Historic Society. If I did Adventure Labs and geocaching with them, would that count as engagement since it's for the city?
Supervisor Camarena, yeah, that does sound appropriate because it is city engagement overall. So yeah, I believe that should fall under the qualifications of this.
Great, so that's what I've been working on. I went and visited the Historic Society, and they are interested, and they had a meeting on Monday, and they talked about it, and I am going to follow up with them to hear what they think.
Great, excited to hear more about that. Next, we'll move to financial literacy, which is something I would really like to focus on at this meeting. I know Commissioner Yarborough is not here, but Commissioner Charles and Commissioner Yui, I would love for you to tell me about how that's going and what you're planning.
Commissioner Yui, okay, so far we've gotten 3 speakers to speak on different topics such as saving, credit card and debt management, and then also investing. We're still figuring out dates. I want to talk to the rest of the people on the commission. In the ad hoc to finalize what dates work, but we have all the topics and speakers lined up.
Okay, great. And just to clarify, you're planning this to be like an event?
We're planning it to be at the library in one of the back rooms.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
And it would be in February, March, and April, most likely.
Great, thank you. So now we'll move on to goal number 2, which is intergenerational programming. and our first one, which is the art social event. So I would really love, Commissioner Christensen, if you could tell us how that's going, because I know you're spearheading that.
Okay, so we currently are set between one of two dates, either February or March on the 21st. I still have to collaborate with the commissioners and also with, I believe I was talking with either Hammer or Camarena on kind of saving a space at the Pacific View Arts Center to host this art project. We have all the supplies ready. We just need to set a date and reserve a space and then get out the marketing.
Supervisor Cameron is going to jump in for a moment. So yes, we will get you in contact with the senior commission so that you guys can kind of collaborate and they can get the word out to the senior community. The other piece of that, so from looking at your guys' emails and from what Manager Hamer had originally put out, the two dates were February 21st and March 21st. I will note really quick that both of those, so one of those dates, if both of those dates were also the new dates for the possible habitat restoration, my suggestion is to do, because I know that you are on a timeline with the art one, so my suggestion would be February 21st, just because it's an earlier date, and we can start kind of making sure that that gets on the books. And then I'll have you guys let me know what your thoughts are on that.
That sounds great. I think I'm on this ad hoc, so I'm really excited. Do you have plans for getting like teen volunteers or people to help with this?
I don't have any direct contacts other than just knowing people my age. I was hoping, since we are all kind of youth, if we could take it upon ourselves to kind of spread the word as far as the youth and teenagers.
Supervisor Camarena jumping in for a moment. That we can also use our volunteer network for. So I will make sure that that's put onto our volunteer network and see if we can get teen volunteers for that as well. I do appreciate, I do want the idea for your own peers to come as well. But if you do need more support, we can put it out on our software system.
Great. I'm really excited about this one. I think this is a really great opportunity to use Pacific View, which I feel like is an underutilized space right now. So we'll move on to number 2, which is Techie Tutors, Commissioner Carls and Commissioner Kumagai. When we were talking with Senior Commission Chair Lambert Ling, he suggested making this a recurring event rather than a one-off. I'd really like for the whole commission to discuss this, because in past years it's been kind of a once a year, like 2-hour-long event, and he suggested making it like the first Thursday of the month where it's just 45 minutes or an hour, because that would be easier for the seniors who don't have as much like information about when new events are. So does anyone have anything they want to bring up?
Or does anybody have thoughts on that for people who plan on continuing on the commission and bringing in their new applications? Or is that something that you guys might be interested in? Or not interested in? Just thoughts all the way around.
I feel like the Techie Tutor, Commissioner Charles, the Techie Tutor event is important. And when we were talking to, on the Senior Commission, Chair Ling, we were talking about how it should be consistent and then shortening it to a shorter period, because it used to be 2 shifts and of like 2 hours, and now it will just be 2 hours. I feel like it's important to do it somewhere like very public and get more advertisement, I think that's a word, for this, because he was talking about how there weren't many people attending, but he knew a lot of people who could like use this help and activity from us. So did we get a date? I forget. I feel like dates were discussed. Camarena?
Yes, the date is February 7th. There was an email sent out to you guys to let you know that that is the date. So February 7th, Saturday is the date of your event. The flyers are out and we are distributing those. I'll send you guys another email with the flyers for you guys to send out to any friends you have who can also help with the event.
But as a junior who will be applying to the commission next year, I think if I get on the commission again, I would be in favor of keeping this event because I think it's an important way to connect the different age groups of our community. And although we're the youth commission, I feel that this is important to interact with other commissions and bring Encinitas to a more holistic, like age intertwined place.
Commissioner Yui, is this just a youth and like senior event, or is it like all ages?
I think it would be, Commissioner Charles, I think it would incorporate all ages if other ages wanted to attend, but it's directed toward seniors.
This is Manager Goodsill. At this point in time, for the February 7th intergenerational event, it's youth tutoring senior citizens, so they must be 50 years of age or older.
All right. Excited for that event. Hopefully everyone can help with that because it's a really great collaboration that we have. Speaking of great collaborations, number 3, video and social media communication. Again, good job, Chair Kelly, with that awesome video. Really enjoyed watching that. And that goal is done, which is great. Moving on to goal
This
number
is Manager Goodsill. Are there others on that ad hoc committee that would be interested in producing future videos?
Vice Chair Hubble, I'm on that ad hoc and the other person isn't here. So let's circle back on that in February.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Moving on, goal number 3, habitat and environmental stewardship. I'm going to hand this one over to Supervisor Camarena.
Thank you. Yes, so we got recent dates. We received recent dates from Joe DeWolf again. So February 21st, March 7th, and March 21st were the 3 dates that he brought back to us. As I said earlier, I think doing the arts event on the 21st would probably be the best. I don't think we should try to cram both of these into one day. I think that's just a little bit much, but what are your guys' opinions on those? Do you want to keep them on all on the same day? Do you want to spread them out? This one could move to March if that's okay. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Vice Chair Hubble, I agree with you. Let's not put them on the same day.
Okay, then it sounds like March 7th or March 21st. I'd love to hear if you guys have any thoughts on which day would probably work best so far.
Commissioner Yui, are those both Saturdays?
Commissioner Christensen, I think February 7th would be preferred. That way, just in case February 21st doesn't work out because something happens, we still have March 21st as a backup and we don't have something conflicting last minute.
Okay. As we've said before, we do like all the commissioners to come to this event. However, it's not specifically, if you can't make it, that is understood. We just try to use this as kind of a camaraderie event, I think is the word I'm looking for. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to put down, I will send back a email to Joe DeWolf and let him know that March 7th will work for us. If anybody has anything later or if anybody finds out later that this may not work, just please send me an email so that we can communicate about it.
Vice Chair Hubble, I'm not available that day, but I also am not available for the whole month of March, basically, because that's our spring musical. So either date is going to be bad, so just keep it as is, what works best for everyone.
Chair Kelly, March 7th is the projected date for the Olympic Development Program for water polo, so that's still an unknown but unlikely for me.
Okay.
All All right, well, hopefully we can find a date that works sometime in the future. Moving on to number 2, Arbor Day. I have a question for city staff. Has a date been set for this yet?
If you want to move on, I can look that up right now.
Great. Moving on to goal number 4, youth health and safety. Number 1, mobility and bike safety, Chair Kelly and Commissioner Yui. That goal is done because we all volunteered at Oktoberfest, but I did hear that the Traffic Commission, in one of their meetings, has suggested that we have a joint meeting with the Traffic Commission about safe routes to school, so I'm opening that up to everyone for discussion.
Chair Kelly, I think that's dependent on the outreach that we get from them, instead of vice versa. If we receive communication from them, I think we move forward with that. Otherwise, I'd say that we leave that outreach goal completed.
Commissioner Yui, did they say anything about like what they wanted to talk about, just like safe routes to school, and then how we would implement that?
Yeah, Chair Kelly, they're talking about like the safe routes to school and like what are possible ways to go about that, and they wanted our perspective on it. So 2 years ago, there was an incident near one of the schools, and we did a similar joint commission meeting. It was supposed to be about e-bikes. Hence, we had the e-bike goal, ad hoc initiative, and so it would be very similar to that, but we haven't heard back from them directly, so I think we should move on with that until we hear otherwise.
Okay.
Anyone have any other thoughts about that? No? Okay.
Wait, Commissioner Yui, this is like circling back to the, habitat restoration. I'm not available on the 7th, but I'll be available on the 21st.
Got it. So it sounds like we might be leaning more towards the 7th, but we can hash this a little bit more in email as well.
All right. Great. Number 2, which is experts in mental health. I would love to hear from everyone on this ad hoc about ideas you have for potential speakers.
Chair Kelly, we have a speaker coming from Etholites, and she's going to be talking to us about the work she's doing, and we will see if we can get future speakers. But for right now, we have a speaker that fulfills this goal.
Great. Anyone else? All right. Moving on to number 3, which is the ocean safety booth. Commissioner Kinzelberg, give an update.
Commissioner Kinzelberg, I need to reach out to the Encinitas Life Saving Association still, but I will do that soon.
Great. And just for everyone's information, that's something that usually happens in June. It's really fun. You sit at a tent and tell people to not swim into riptides. So moving on to goal number 5, STEAM engagement. Number 1, STEAM community projects and careers. I know Commissioner Merrick's not here, but I've been thinking a lot about how we can use Pacific View to promote this and promote these community projects. So I think the art social is a really, really great start, but I know that we can do more. So I'm looking forward to hearing everyone's ideas.
Commissioner Yui, rethinking another event for, maybe something more like science, technology, and math focused, or more arts?
I mean, I'm really open to anything. Last year, me and former Chair Lashensky did do a robotics event at the Encinitas Library, which was really successful. So if anyone is interested in helping me resurrect that for next year, we need a robotics team to work with now that Chair Lashensky is off to college. So if anyone has any contacts.
Commissioner Yui, I believe Commissioner Merrick's on the robotics team, so I think she
Right.
would be able to
Yeah.
do that.
So we'll talk about that in February.
Mhm.
All right. And number 2, volunteer at art night is done. Manager Goodsell or Supervisor Camarena, do we have any future art nights?
I can look that up. I believe it comes back in October, is what I saw. So we do have a little bit of time
Okay.
before
Great.
that comes back.
All right. Well, then that's it. And I think we've been making really good progress, but I'm excited to see what we can do with the rest of this year.
Yeah, Chair Kelly, great job, everybody. We've gotten a lot done. And we've seen a lot of progress in the last couple of years with how much we're doing and the impacts we're making in the community. And we've really excelled. And I'd say out of the 3 years I've been here, this has certainly been the most productive year so far. So we move on to agenda item number 9.
I'm so sorry. Be right before you do that. Our next art night for you guys to write down is April 18th. So Saturday, April 18th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Commissioner Christensen, could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, of course. Saturday, April 18th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I will send this in an email to you guys later as well.
Chair Kelly, as everyone's putting that down, I'll move into the next agenda item. We have agenda item number 9. We have informational items. We have department updates from interim recreation services manager Goodsell.
Thank you, Chair Kelly. The Age-Friendly project is moving into the final phase, which is the action planning stage. This is where the community helps to formulate measurable tasks that will move the domain goals forward. We invite you to join us to finalize this community-driven plan for City Council review. Action planning dates are as follows: Tuesday, January 20th at 10 a.m. at the Encinitas Community and Senior Center. Thursday, January 29th at 4 p.m. at the Encinitas Library Community Room. Monday, February 2nd at 12:30 at the Encinitas Community and Senior Center. And the last one is on Tuesday, February 10th, 10 a.m. at the Encinitas Elks Lodge. Moving on to data that was collected from Placer AI, here's what we've learned. The Community and Senior Center received over 7,100 visits in November and 4,800 in December. The gym had 753 visits in November and 636 in December. And the banquet hall had 1,461 visits in November and 716 in December. The numbers, as you have heard, were a little bit lower last month, and that's due to the holiday closure. Please save the dates. On Wednesday, January 14th at 3 p.m. at Pacific View Campus, the Encinitas Fire Department and the City Council will host a ribbon-cutting ceremony at temporary Fire Station 1. The temporary station was constructed to house personnel and equipment to serve coastal downtown Encinitas, while the original Station 1 on 2nd Street undergoes necessary upgrades and improvements. Fridays, starting January 23rd through June 26th at 7 p.m. is Music by the Sea, curated by San Diego Music Society, held at the Encinitas Library. January 31st, there is a free Universal Waste Collection drive-up event from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at City Hall, where Encinitas residents can safely dispose of their batteries, bulbs, electronics, and sharps. So please bring proof of residency. Saturday, February 21st, 9 to 12 p.m., the Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the City of Encinitas, is hosting a Live Boldly, Live Well Senior Lifestyle Expo at the Encinitas Community and Senior Center. And then finally, mark the date for Monday, March 2nd for the Spring and Summer Camp registration, which opens at 8 a.m. And that concludes my report.
Chair Kelly, thank you so much, Interim Recreation Services Manager Goodsell. We move on to agenda item number 10. Commissioner member initiated agenda items. Seeing as there are none, we'll move on to agenda item number 11, future agenda items added by commission members. Seeing as there are none, move on to agenda item number 12, Commissioner reports roundtable all commissioners. Chair Kelly, so we're supposed to share a goal along with all the things that we were that we share with the roundtable. And a big goal for me this year is I am going to be going to 2 conferences this year. One called the COACMH in February. It's essentially a very long abbreviation for the Coalition of Athlete Mental Health. So I'm going to be working there with the organization called Kevin Love Fund. And then I will also be going to the American Library Association Conference in Chicago this year and will be presenting as a speaker there. And I'm really excited about that. And a big goal for me this year is to really nail it at that. And I will be dressed up as Spider-Man very likely for at least one of those. So I guess it's big goal is not mess up the Spider-Man costume.
Vice Chair Hubble, at Santa Fe Christian, we are just starting our second semester with our, I think, almost undefeated men's basketball team. And our women's basketball team is having their home opener this weekend. We're also getting into our spring musical, which over a fourth of our student body participates in. That's the first 2 weekends of March at the Star Theater in Oceanside, and we'll be doing Hello Dolly. And one goal that I have for this year is to be more intentional about my relationship with technology.
Commissioner Charles, I'm not up to date on all of the sports that are happening at STA right now, but we also just started our second semester, coming back from winter break today. And because of our schedule, not only have we come back to school, but we also get a full schedule change today because of our 4x4. So it's second day of our first day of school for SDA students. And a goal for me this year is to, outside of school, become a basically higher position in 4-H club, which is like a Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, essentially, if anyone knows what 4-H is. And I will be a leader in the summer camp, but I'm between being an executive officer and officer, and I hope to achieve that higher position. And in school, getting straight A's is usually a goal of mine, but I'm taking some rigorous math courses, and I am more of an English person, so those will be challenging for me, and organization skills with those.
Commissioner Christensen, I'd say a personal goal of mine is to kind of procrastinate my school assignments less and turn them in earlier or just finish them earlier so that I'm not cramming them the night before, as I tend to do. LCC just started up. We had our first day back today. A lot of students begrudgingly walking back, but other than that, everything's going good.
Pacific Ridge is in their second trimester, and we had some basketball games over the break. We won 2, we lost 2, so not too bad. And I'm hosting for the AI Club on Friday. We're going to have a forum on AI ethics. And besides that, I don't think there's too much going on. And a goal for me is probably to get straight A's again, like Sarah said, and probably get maybe 1,000 geocaches. Yeah.
Commissioner Kumagai, yes, as mentioned, SDA is back from a very restorative winter break on our first day, meeting new teachers and classmates. Our theater season is also kicking off again. Our musical today was announced as Anything Goes, and our 1 week, 1 acts will also be beginning soon. And I believe our soccer season is starting soon. But okay, so for personal goals, I want to be more organized and intentional with my time this year so that not only can I push myself with my schoolwork, but also have time to connect with my friends and community and pursue my passions.
Commissioner Yui, at all schools, I guess, winter baseball starting up, so preseason. And then for my personal goals, becoming a better communicator, and then like through email and calling especially, and then also donating more gear through my nonprofit.
To number 13, agenda item number 13, adjournment. So I, Chair Kelly,